Waking Up Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our first guest for this morning, being a Thursday, is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. And today, Adrian, we're talking about switching careers.
Yeah, and it's something which a lot of people in recent times have been approaching me and asking me. So, Adrian, I'm sick and tired of my job. Is there something else I can switch to? And it's a huge topic nowadays because people are getting retrenched as well, and they're getting quite, they're thinking my role may not be so secure anymore. Is there something else I can do? Or even sometimes they're happy in their role and they're thinking, is there something else I can do that's better or more exciting?
Tell us the truth, it was FD that asked you this question, right?
Good morning.
Please, FD's next stage should be retirement.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that.
For sure.
Yeah, if it ever comes about.
But FD, I've always said, FD is living the dream.
I am. I'm absolutely living my dream.
And he's been living the dream for the past 30 years.
Absolutely.
This is exactly your center. You're loving
Isn't that
it.
amazing? Not many people get to say that.
Not many. I am so blessed to be able to say I'm doing that.
Yeah.
You know, it's so rare.
To love what you do,
to
do it every day.
And to wake up in the morning and go, you know, I'm not going to work.
Yeah. And it's not like a big sigh, heavy feeling on your shoulders. A lot of people feel that, right? Going to work.
And ironically, it's not just the Monday morning blues that some people get. What I'm hearing is some people are getting the Sunday night blues.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So
The
Sunday night they're
dreading.
thinking, oh shucks, the week's coming up ahead.
no.
What do
I can't
do?
imagine that, you know. I mean, I feel so sorry for people like that, right? Because it's painful, you know.
But
They
you
can't
know-
sleep. They can't get to sleep. They don't have a decent night's rest before Monday comes around. It's bad.
You can't help it as well because society also ingrains that into you. They're like, oh, Monday blues. You know, it's Sunday. You
Like
gotta
when I
go
was in
back to
primary school.
work.
You know, you
Same
got to
thing.
wake up the next morning to go to school, then, I didn't do my homework.
Yeah.
What am I going to tell the teacher?
So it started there.
Dread it.
But you know, I've been there myself in my previous careers, previous jobs. You know, the Sunday night blues. I'm thinking, oh shucks, there's something else I would do. And there are two things you can do about it. Number one is you can suck it up, buttercup. You know.
Yeah.
The other thing is then you think about it. Okay, maybe I do want to do a switch. Maybe I want to change. Is there something else I can do? Is there a better job out there? And what is a better job?
But that's such a hard question to answer. You know, what is a better job?
Yeah.
Because
And then once you
everything
get that
comes
good job
with it.
already, then you're not satisfied. Some people are just never satisfied.
And sometimes it's a good thing. If you are always progressing and wanting to do something more exciting, better, then I think that's good. But if you're dissatisfied because you're just dissatisfied with, you want a perfect job, newsflash, there's no perfect job out there.
is no
Then if you're
perfect.
too satisfied, also maybe a problem also, right? Then you're in your comfort zone.
Complacent.
Maybe you're
That's
not
true, that's
not
true.
ambitious enough. You hear that, FD?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay.
Started out as hero, ended up as villain.
Let's continue to talk to Adrian on The Big Show TV. Here's Jonas Blue and Rani finally on Kiss 92.
Today is Let's Bully FD Day.
Yeah.
Right?
Every day.
This whole career switch. I say this because both my daughters are going through career switches right now, both of them.
Big ones as
And
well.
big ones. And is it easy?
It can be easy if you... Okay, I don't like to use the word easy. Easy makes it sound like no effort, no. I think sometimes it can be straightforward.
Okay.
Where it's very clear that I need to do this or want to do this. Oftentimes it is not. Because there should be a lot of planning that goes behind it. And it should not be spur of the moment, you know, I want to quit my job, maybe I should be a ... kind of thing.
Yeah.
So those type of career switches are tricky because there's not much thinking, not much strategy to it. Or worse still, someone tells you, hey, hey, Angel, you're very good at baking, you know. Maybe
But I'm not though.
I
No,
mean,
I'm
just
joking.
imagine, right?
Yeah.
You're good at baking. You should open up a bakery.
I know people say that, right? When,
And then suddenly you go, oh, okay, maybe I should open up a bakery. And then they open up a bakery and they find out that, you're baking 2 or 3 cakes.
does not make you a baker.
Yeah, and then suddenly, you get burnout. If suddenly your cakes are really that great and then you got to bake like 80 cakes in a day, it's not fun anymore. And then suddenly, there are a lot of things we need to think about if you're thinking of a mid-career switch. And in fact, mid-career switching is one of my pet topics. In fact, I wrote the book on mid-career switching back in 2015. So it's always been close to my heart. So today we're going to talk about what the reasons are, how do you do it, what are the pitfalls.
So what are the reasons?
Well, sometimes you are bored with your job. Sometimes like what you mentioned earlier, Glenn said, comfort zone.
Too complacent as well, sitting in. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes there's the medical condition called IBS.
Yes.
Wait.
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, there's also an IBS for it, and since we're off air, I can say it's called itchy backside syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay.
No need to change. Everything's going well. Then
Yeah.
you just want to do something different.
Why
no,
fix something that's
sitting
not
down-
broken? Yeah.
I've been sitting down so long in this job. Maybe
Yeah.
I should try something different. Maybe I should do this or do that. So sometimes IBS is real. Okay, that you.
Is
try
that a
something-
bad reason though to
It-
change?
If it's the only reason, just because I want to change, therefore I do a change and I do not know what I'm doing, then maybe it's a wrong motivation. So one of the reasons that I always hear is, or one of the things that we always hear is, I should start a business. My
Yeah.
own business.
Oh, my
I want to do my own
Work
gig.
for myself.
I want to work for myself.
Yeah.
Not as easy as it
It's not
sounds.
easy as it sounds, right? I mean,
No.
you've been through it. You know, it's and the funny thing is whenever we get a question from a client or someone coming up to us and telling us, Adrian, I think I want to start my own business. What do you think about it? And I always say, if you have to ask me, the answer is no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you are asking, you're having so much doubt already, should I
Yeah.
start my own business? The answer is no. You're not ready for it. If you are ready for it, you go, "Adrian,
just go
I'm going to
ahead.
start a business. I'm going to do this. I've incubated this idea. I've tried that. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So if you're asking me for permission, or you're asking whether the idea will work, I'll give you my idea, opinion. But if you haven't decided yet,
Then
you go
it's no.
decide it.
Yeah.
Then it's no. Until the time you're so convicted of that business idea, it's going to work. I've tried it. It works.
Yep.
And no one can change your mind, right?
Yeah. And then go for it. But if you're on the fence, then you get advice. It's okay. But if you're asking me, should I? The answer is no.
But with that conviction, does it always make it right? You know what I mean? Like some people really believe. Like look at what's his name, that guy that sang on America's Got Talent. What was it? Hung. What's it?
William Hung.
William
William
Hung.
Hung.
I mean, he so thought that he could,
Yeah.
but he couldn't, and that's conviction, right? He went on the stage
Yeah.
and had that confidence. With some people also, they do that when they're switching careers.
And I think he made a good amount of money, you know,
did.
from
while it
not being
lasted.
able to sing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He
yeah.
milked it. But
Brilliant. He's a motivational speaker now, you know.
Oh,
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think he's part of the Republican Party as well, if I'm not mistaken. He's into
Holy
politics as well.
Oh
William Hung.
my! Well, okay, so he really was given lemons and made the best lemonade
lemonade.
ever, right? But not everyone has that.
Yeah, and as far as starting your own business is concerned, I think it's the road to successful entrepreneurship is paved with failure after failure after failure after failure. So you have to keep trying, and if you can't cope with failure or failing repeatedly, then don't go into that
Then
space.
don't do it. Yeah.
And don't work for yourself.
So what are we telling people this morning then? I mean, based on what we've been talking about, I think anyone who was thinking about venturing out on his or her own
Yeah.
is now thinking twice.
Think
based
twice.
on what we
We're
just
saying.
said.
Twice, have a good plan, trial run
Business
it,
plan,
incubate it,
while keeping your job,
while keeping
right?
your job.
Yeah.
While keeping your job, yeah. Do a side gig and see if the side gig becomes your main gig, and if you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking of a career switch to do your own business, there's a lot going on in the background. And what I always tell people is this: if you want to learn how to run a business, you don't have to go to a Harvard Business School. You don't have to get an MBA. You go watch all seasons of Shark Tank.
Right.
Yeah.
Shark Tank is amazing. You just watch the sharks,
Yeah.
the entrepreneurs giving
And-
advice,
yeah.
criticizing, say this is a silly idea.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Leary, one of my favorite sharks, Mr. Wonderful. If he hears an idea, he says it's a really bad idea. You should bring it out to the backyard and shoot it.
Yeah.
And put it out his misery. So sometimes you get a lot of things. So watching Shark Tank, and I've watched all the seasons. It's amazing. You learn a lot about business from these experts.
You need
Yeah.
that criticism sometimes, right? You need someone to tell
Yeah.
you
I
straight to
think
your
Kevin
face. you're
O'Leary
gonna
is the
fail.
best.
I
And
haven't really watched
He's a
it.
real investor. He's a stockbroker, right? He's in the
got so many-
financial.
he was in education business for a while, software, and then he's all over the place. But he's a crypto investor as well.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's right.
okay.
So he was
Yeah.
interviewed on CNN recently
Yeah.
Okay.
with regard to the market. Okay, going back on it.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Well, you've got the usual delays across the expressways. The SLE towards the BKE, a vehicle broken down after the TPE. AYE towards Tuas, a vehicle broken down at Alexandra Road entrance. SLE towards the BKE, an accident after Woodlands Avenue 2 exit. PIE towards Tuas, an accident before Jalan Bahar, and that's causing all kinds of delays. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Switching careers is what we're talking about right here on Kiss 92. You tuned into The Big Show and The Big Show TV with Glenn Angel, the Flying Dutchman, and Adrian Choo from Career Agility International.
You know, Adrian, we talk about starting your own business and incubating it and all that. That's fine. I've got an idea. But I'll bet there are people out there who are listening to this and going, you know, I need to leave. I need to get out. I don't know what to do, where to go.
It's a slow death for some people, you know.
Actually,
What do you say? I know I need to change, but I don't know
I don't know what to do.
what to do.
Yeah,
Or
I
where
don't know
to
what
go.
to. Yeah.
And then they
What's
become
my
a
next
burglar.
step? Glenn, take this seriously.
Sorry.
Glenn, okay.
No, but what do you say to someone like that?
Well, I think number one, we need to decide that action has to be taken. I mean, you can sit down and complain, and it's all in good jazz. Sometimes you're just complaining and moaning, but if you have to decide, I want to leave, and then you're going to figure out, okay, what are my next steps?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest gaps that stops a lot of us from leaving or making a switch is that we do not know what we want to do.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
what do you want to do? And for that, I would say that you need to pause and think very hard. I believe in this concept of breadcrumbs. Okay, breadcrumbs being like, Hansel and Gretel, the story.
Yeah.
That's how they found their way home. They left breadcrumbs, right?
Yeah.
If you look at your past careers, your past jobs, okay, not just this job, previous one, you will see a pattern of things that maybe you were really good at and you really enjoyed doing, and you were interested in it, and you really excelled in it. Those are clues, breadcrumbs, as to where the direction is going to be.
Even if it's not going to pay you as much as your current job
Yeah,
is.
maybe for a start. And I'm talking about just for a start. The initial fact-finding, clue, just to get clues as to where you want to head towards. So for me, when I was doing headhunting and everything, before I pivoted into starting Career Agility International, I was thinking, what do I really enjoy doing? I love helping people with their careers. That was the element of my headhunting career which I love the most.
Okay.
And I was looking and saying, okay, fine. And I love speaking and I love meeting people. And I said, okay, what if I just took that element out of my previous headhunting job?
And put all of that
All
together.
together, yeah.
Yeah.
So these are breadcrumbs which we need to pause and see what exactly are the clues that we have that can point us to our ultimate goal. And you may not get the answer straight away. But breadcrumbs, you got to put it together and then you get a loaf.
So it's very
Yeah.
strategic. A lot of planning has to go into this.
Yeah, but you must be careful also because some birds are flying.
Oh, Glenn.
And then, correct or not? You must watch out for that also.
Yeah.
Can
Like
he
you
ever
lose
be
your way.
serious?
No,
You
no, because if you leave breadcrumbs and you make them known, someone else picks up on your idea
No,
and
but this
beats
is
you
your
to it.
No, but this is your past careers that you're talking about. What breadcrumbs they're going to pick up from your past career?
It's part of the story.
No,
Anyway, it's 8:13.
okay.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you.
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel, there's a story of breadcrumbs, and suddenly the birds came to eat the breadcrumbs and they lost their way. So it's true also.
It's true. It's true.
You know, you got to be careful also, although you...
Yeah, but
you've,
you're not. This is not planting the seed to create a new business. This is your historical, metaphorical breadcrumbs that you've left behind, not actually new ideas. So,
But it's an exercise which we always tell, and it's not easy to do it on your own, honestly. That's why our clients engage us. We sit down, we spend 2 hours talking to them, to ideate what exactly it is. And sometimes they don't realize it because they don't have enough information or data. So one of the clues we always say, if you want to do a mid-career switch, look for breadcrumbs. The other advice we always give people who are thinking of doing a mid-career switch is don't go all 180-degree drastic change. Don't suddenly, I want to, if you're a teacher, suddenly say that I want to go and be a dancer, and you've never danced before in your life.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or I want to be...
So you got to be realistic as well.
You have to be realistic.
So like Taman, huh? So he used to be like senior minister and all that. Now he's going to become president. Is that considered a
It's not a
career
180.
switch?
It's not a 180.
No, I don't
like,
think so.
And I like that example you just gave because you gave a very good example because it all boils down to what we call adjacencies. is an adjacent. The new road's adjacent to where he is.
Okay.
But if you look at him, his heart is in the right place, which is serving the people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Which
not about
is
the politics.
always done.
Which is always done.
So it's not an about turn in terms of career, right?
So it's still his true north. If you think about it, it's still a true north. And just that it may be taking a different form.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe an even bigger platform for him to do it, because now he doesn't have to worry about the politics, about all the boring reports and everything. He can just focus entirely on it. Let's make this office of the president a bigger, better place.
And he's got more of a helicopter view about everything that's going on.
Now he has all the infrastructure and the support to make
help
things
him.
happen. So I
Yeah.
think it may be a fantastic shift to an adjacency, which is more him.
Yeah.
But we don't know because it's him. But I'm just thinking,
Yeah, but at the same time, he cannot show that he is, still, part of that infrastructure, though. I mean, but that's the debate right
That's
now,
the debate
right? I
right
mean, you want a president, but you don't want a president who is still
So got his foot in
affiliated
with
so
the
much.
politics,
So
yeah.
it's a bit tricky for them,
Yeah.
be it Taman or
Whoever.
whoever is going to be running for the presidency. Because you don't want to be too detached as well from the government.
Yeah.
Because then you go in there like a sotong, no? You know what I mean?
And then
you
you get-
need to have some knowledge.
And then you get what we call organ rejection. The
Okay.
organ transplant, sometimes you put a liver in or kidney in, and then the whole system, the whole body's
Shuts
immunity
down,
just attacks it and destroys it,
Yeah.
right? So drastic. So, and it's also the same thing. If you decide to do a mid-career switch into something that's totally different in a new organization, and you might also, if you're not doing it correctly, you might get an organ rejection, where suddenly everything works against you, the system. So a mid-career switch is possible. We need to think very long and hard about the switch, especially if you're mid-career, because there are risks involved.
So like cardinal, then you become a pope. So it's like,
That's
is
a
that like
promotion.
Or cardinal,
That's
then you
straight on
become
promotion. There's no change there. It's a promotion.
cardinal, then you become a rock singer. There you go. That's a career switch.
For
Right,
those
right.
people who are just joining us now, can you give us an age? We keep
What's
saying
mid-career, right?
mid-career,
Yeah.
mid-career. Can you give us an age? Can you put an
40.
age on it? Is it 40? Is it 45? Is it 35?
Yeah.
What is it?
67.
You be shut up. Now, is there an age we can put to it, or is there a number of years?
a range.
Yeah.
Or is there a range? Yeah.
How do we-
So the question is anyone ever too old to do a career switch, right?
I say no.
The answer is no. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. It's no. It's just
So we should
mindset.
take the word mid out. It's just career switch.
It's a career switch, but I
But
like to
after
use-
being somewhere for a while, it's not
Yeah.
a switch like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Zers are doing right
exactly.
now, right?
Yeah, the reason why I like to emphasize on the word mid-career switch is because if you're in mid-career, that switch is the most risky.
Yeah.
Because you have kids, you got mortgage, you got that.
Oh, so you're stable.
You're kind of stable where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to switch because maybe the industry you're in is dying.
Yep.
The skill sets are so we need to figure out what exactly we need to do. That's why if you're a mid-career person, maybe between 35 and 45-ish,
Yeah.
that gap. If you want to do a mid-career switch, you need a lot of strategy before you move. Because honestly, if you're 28 and you do a switch,
Yeah.
That's not really.
yeah, I mean we've
You're
all
quite
done that.
resilient, right?
Yeah, we've all
that-
gone
But
down
when
that
you're
road.
older, it's easier to do the switch. So I just
'Cause you're
suggest
more
this. And
settled, I think.
yesterday I was at the Tuas checkpoint. I
See
saw
that.
the traffic wardens over there.
So you
They
want
were
me to-
all about like
Wait, he
65,
hasn't finished his
66,
statement. He hasn't finished his
67,
statement.
you know.
What's wrong with that? Nothing
with
wrong
big
with it.
smiles,
Yeah.
like
I mean,
directing the car to this lane and that lane and all that. So yeah, I mean, if you want a career switch, FD,
Yeah.
something simple
Why so
like
angry
that.
though? It's
I
an
know.
honest job,
Too good
honest
or what?
living.
Too good for them?
No, I'm not going to go from this to
Why not?
traffic warden.
You
It's
live
not
nearby as well.
It's not a switch I want.
So
The
I was
commute will be so short.
so I was right at the beginning of the show. I said today it's International Bully FD Day. So today it's
You know what? I will go and work at the checkpoint, and every time these two come through, I will damage the passport,
I'm
and
just
they will
gonna
have to get
fly.
new passports.
I'm just gonna fly in and just like bypass all that.
I got cocky at the airport also. Well, like, terrible.
He started it.
It's just passing time.
I know you are.
No, I mean, as in the traffic warden was just, I
not
think,
us.
just passing time. I don't think
No,
he
I
needed the job.
think for
Oh,
many
right.
people, I think for many people, those kind of jobs are absolutely fantastic.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
You know, it keeps you busy. It keeps your mind busy.
Well, some
because
people
as-
also need to work.
Yeah, and you
know,
need to work.
It's not,
And to me, my biggest worry is keeping my mind busy when all this ends.
yeah.
And that helps keep your mind
Finding
busy.
a hobby, right? We've always said that you need to find something that you love
because
to do.
keeping your mind engaged is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that's why the concept of retirement age to me it's not relevant anymore.
No,
You can retire at any age,
You can
right?
at any
You
age.
can,
yeah.
And the question is, even if you've officially retired, your mind should still be working, even if it's just looking after the grandkids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stimulation involved as well. So I think we just need to stay active physically and mentally, and that's very important. I've seen individuals who decide I'm going to retire, and then 6 months later, their mind, they've lost their sharpness, their mind deteriorates.
That's interesting that you said that about the grandkids, because you say that's something to keep your mind busy. Yesterday we were discussing it as well. What was the
the premise is we have a 1.4
growth rate or
growth
something?
rate for children per woman, right? And if we want more, studies have been shown in places like Israel, the way you increase your birth rate is to get the parents involved in the upbringing of children.
So basically, have the grandparents look after the kids so that you have more whoopee time.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was. That's
So I have
literally
time
what it was.
for work. I have time for whoopee. You look after my kids.
Yeah, so I have more time on my own. But then I said, then why have children in the first place, right?
So I was talking to someone, an economist once, and he said, do you know why the birth rates dropped so much in recent years?
Why?
And whereas our grandparents' time was so many, because of now there's internet, there's Netflix.
No knowledge.
No. Because everyone in the evening at 8 o'clock, they're all watching TV. In the old days, without entertainment, they'll be having their own form of entertainment.
We'll be the entertainment now.
Okay, there is a classic example of that. Do you remember when Orson Welles did War of the Worlds on radio in New York?
Okay.
Yeah.
And scared the living hell out of New York, right?
Yeah.
All the power went down and whatever. And people started to run.
Okay.
When they settled down, 9 months later, there was an uplift in birth rates. Because everyone settled down and everyone was safe and they literally copulated. It's very interesting. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about career changes.
Career change.
Please, let's not get into
You
all
can be
this.
a historian.
No.
I think
don't wanna go
historian.
there.
You love history.
I do love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be historian of SPH. You tell them where all the rooms were, what they've changed to, this and that.
So that's why back to
Because
the
your
origin.
glasses look like magnifying glasses anyway. You look very historian-like.
The professor, history professor.
What do I don't have a mid-career change. What do I do with these two?
So angry.
This is my question for you today.
But you'll be on leave next week. You'll be
Yeah,
away from
that's
them.
true.
You need that break from them.
You notice I'm not angry this morning.
But the show is multi-generational anyway. I mean, I'm sure you've observed it already.
course, yeah.
Correct. So you got grandpa, you got papa, you've got, maybe big sister.
Yeah, thank you.
And then,
He dodged
and
the
then
bullet.
these
He
are
dodged the
our
bullet.
children over here, Shalini and Cheyenne.
Yes.
When we come back, I want to ask about career change, but from the perspective of a young person, okay?
Okay.
Oh, you can always ask
Traffic.
the young people here.
No, I want
Oh, okay.
for him, for
Let's stand
them.
by. Okay. Yeah.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Alrighty, let's see what's happening on the roads this morning. We've got one or two areas that you're going to have to look out for. Bukitima Road towards Woodlands, an obstacle on the road after Kavanagh Road. Look out for that. Our accident vehicles, for the most part, have all been removed, except for Pioneer Road towards the city. That accident after Tuas Avenue 2 vehicles are still there. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest currently is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. Very soon we'll be joined by the winner of the Phoenix Award at the Women's Entrepreneur Awards 2023. Her name is Elsie Liow. She is also the MD of Adepture Consulting. We'll find out a little bit more about Elsie in just a while. But right now, we are still talking to Adrian Choo about switching careers. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning.
From a young person's perspective, switching careers, can I plan to switch a career? So I come into a workforce. I'm going to do this for 12 years. I'm going to learn as much as I possibly can, and then I'm going to do this.
And
So can I plan for it ahead of time?
And I think they should plan for it. Because one thing, if your early career, you don't really know what's out there. And there's a lot of things you don't know that you don't know even.
Yeah.
So I think the only way to figure out where you want to be is to explore. And the only way to explore is to move out of your comfort zone. Say, okay, I'm going to spend 2 years in this industry. If I don't like it, I can pivot to something else. Or if I don't like this role, I can pivot to another role. But there's only a certain limit. When you're in your 20s, you can pivot and change roles. But you have to settle down by the time you're early 30s.
Oh, okay.
Because you need to have that domain and industry expertise.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is I'm going to go into the petrochemical industry or whatever, and I'm going to spend 10 years mastering the industry, and then I'm going to come out and become a consultant. So I plan my career change for 10 years, 12 years from now.
Oh, that would be perfect. That'd be ideal.
Can, right?
I
Yeah,
think it
but a
should.
lot of
Can,
people,
right?
but a lot of people end up doing it for 2-3 years and then thinking to themselves, okay, this is not really what I want to do. Or then they get tired of it after 10 years as well, and then they do something else, right?
Yeah, so things change, but I think what FDA has as an idea is fantastic. It's what we've been always telling our clients.
Gearing up
have,
for,
have you gear up for changes ahead, but you must have a roadmap, a plan, at least 5 years ahead, at least 2 or 3 jobs ahead. So no, I'm going to spend 2 years on this job. I'm going to learn as much as I can, and then I'm going to see what else I can do.
Yeah, but you see, everyone wants to be a consultant, Adrian. That's the problem.
No, it is true though, because
No,
they
really.
become an expert in what they do and they want to become a
Like
consultant.
he just mentioned, like,
Yeah.
10 years or whatever, but
Yeah.
not all consultants are equal.
No,
Like, for
that's
example, I mean, okay, you're kind of a consultant, but I mean, we know his credibility. But for every consultant that's credible, there might be 9
That are rubbish.
Yes.
who are BSAs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Bullshit artists.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
they're literally consultants.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Because everyone who thinks that they spend a little bit of time
Yeah.
doing something, all of a sudden they're an expert.
Correct. I
Yeah.
laugh, no? I mean, we
Some
all
are.
don't want to be rude, but sometimes when someone comes up to us and talks to us and
Yeah.
tells us
I'm a
about their
consultant.
history and they're a consultant now, I'm laughing inside.
Yeah. I would not go to
Yeah.
you to consult.
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's why I always believe that you must have that domain expertise. You must know the industry very well. You must know people in the industry. You have to cut your teeth. If you haven't cut your teeth, you haven't had the experience, you haven't been bashed around, you don't have the right to advise other people. So that's why it's important for you to have all that technical background. That's why we're seeing a lot of people who are calling themselves coaches nowadays, life coaches. And I saw, I don't sound horrible, but I saw this 23-year-old life coach,
Oh, wow.
23-year-old life coach,
Wow. Life.
Life coach. Yeah,
Life.
23.
So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say anything else.
Okay.
Okay, 23-year-old life coach. So
Wow.
yeah.
But I mean, okay, what if a 12-year-old is hiring this 23-year-old life coach? Then it's relative, right? Because I'm 12, I'm only halfway through.
Yeah,
what you're,
possibly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm just gonna
but
leave it there.
It's laughable at our age to see someone at that age doing
but this
that.
individual was trying to consult for people in their 40s.
Oh no, then you can't.
Which may be possible if you are talking about if you're talking about
Content creation. Becoming an influencer.
Yeah, then okay, mate, hats off to you. Then you're a you're a content consultant, but a life coach.
Answer this: was that person an influencer?
Okay, now back to next topic.
That
Oh,
probably
you
was.
guys know.
I
know who he's
I
talking
don't know.
about.
It sounds like something I came across, but let's see.
Life coach. So if you're making a career switch or planning to do a career switch, be very careful as to what the next steps are. Okay, and if you need any clarification, you can always drop me an email info@careeragility.org, and we can just spend some time just running through to tell you whether it's a great idea or whether it's a not so great idea. So,
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Adrian, for joining us. As always, we look forward to being with you again next week.
next week.
All right. Up next, Troye Sivan. You see, more and more people are saying that when I was 24, look exactly like Troye Sivan.
I think it was the
And
tank top,
the tank
sleeveless
top
shirt.
and the hair and, like
possibly.
the Asian version of Troye Sivan. But never mind. I'll let people say whatever they want to say.
Oh, okay.
I kind of agree.
Oh.
Here's Rush on
doesn't
Kiss 92.
This song is blowing up.
I love this
This song is blowing. It's blown up.
Holy
It's
cow.
blown up. Thank you so much, Adrian.
Thanks, Adrian.
Sorry you can't
See you
stick
guys.
around. We have
Yeah,
our next
sorry.
guest.
Sorry, man.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Adrian Choo, everybody.
Has left the building. Okay, we've got Elsie Liow coming in.
Elsie Liow.
Liow, Managing Director, Adepture Consulting Pte Ltd. It's basically an immigration and relocation consultancy. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about that.
To me, I've always thought that's just
Wait,
an
relocation consultancy?
Yeah, so people who want to move countries.
So when expats,
Yeah.
you see, when
Or
expats
they
come
come
out.
Wow.
in. Yeah. And
Elsie!
Hey, good morning.
Very nice to meet you, Elsie.
Nice to meet you,
Hello.
Elsie.
Hi. We are live already, by the way, so
We're on,
you know,
we're on
yeah.
Facebook. Yes, put your back here, of course. Please. That's your camera that you can see. We're live on
Yeah.
Facebook already.
Say hi to Elsie, everyone.
Hi, morning.
Got any questions for Elsie? You can.
Just put them into our Facebook chat.
That's
and
right.
We can ask Elsie these
You can
questions.
hear us as well and yourself. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, Elsie.
Congratulations, first and foremost.
Yeah, on
For-
the Phoenix Award winning.
Yeah, for picking up the
Well
Phoenix
done.
Award.
Yeah.
When was the Women Entrepreneur Awards?
Held.
When did it happen?
It happened, Women Entrepreneur, when it first started, it was in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
So in 2017, I think I got the honor to be nominated as one of the winners as well.
Back in 2017.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start your company, Adepture Consulting?
Right. I started a company way back in actually last year.
Oh, you started it last year.
Yeah.
Okay,
because,
all right.
Because the ex company that I used to have, I sold it off.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
that was like probably lasted for around 17 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
It's
Okay.
always nice selling companies off.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to do.
No, but the award, when did you win the Phoenix Award?
The Phoenix Award is this year,
This year, right?
2023.
I see.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
So
Okay.
I was honored, and I got a I was getting this Phoenix Award that actually ascertains the women who went through this period of COVID. Where we actually still are able to stand strong and continue and run the business and sustain the business until today.
That was such a difficult time.
Yeah, it
Must have
was
been a
really-
nightmare, right?
How did you do that? Because your company deals with immigration and relocation. So I take it your business deals
Moving
with
people.
expats coming from out of Singapore into Singapore, that sort of thing, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
With
yeah.
all those restrictions.
And the border closures.
How did you do that? How did you manage?
Right, because I was in this immigration relocation business for the longest time. I think for the last 20 years. So all along, I thought it was a very resilient business because we move people from one location to another location.
Yeah.
Whether it's moving business, moving companies, in good times, in bad times, people moved. So even way back in 2008, during the financial crisis when Lehman Brothers collapsed, I think our business is not affected at all because in good times, bad times, people still move.
Yeah.
But the killer came when the COVID came. When the COVID came, the borders closed.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
worst, right?
Yeah.
Because you're moving people. Yeah.
Never did we really expect that the borders closed.
Of course.
Nobody moves.
It's
Yeah.
never happened
Yeah.
like that before.
Yeah.
So how did
the borders
you?
closed.
So what did you guys do then?
So at the initial onset, we were not expecting, that it's going to be on a so-called permanent basis. Right now, we have normalized the whole virus thing. So the first couple of months, we still run the business as per normal. So we got struck quite badly. I think everything was like going downhill. The revenue, there's no business coming in.
Right.
So then, a couple of months down the road later, we realized, we shouldn't just, keep on banking on revenue coming in. We actually do the whole structuring in terms of building the system in our business, and then we build system, and then we train our colleagues around, and then just to ensure that they step up on the customer service, and at the same time, we just re-look at the entire business outlook.
Module, right? Yeah.
module.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. What about some of the other challenges that you faced?
Wow, I think as a woman, it's really not easy to be an entrepreneur, be a businesswoman, because you have dual role to do, or more than a dual role.
Yeah. You
have,
wear many hats.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, so right, and Angel. So at home, I'm a mother of 4.
Of
Oh wow.
four.
Okay.
Wow.
How old are
Yeah.
the kids?
They are 6 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, and 11 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. That must not have been easy then.
It's definitely this is an understatement, Angel.
Because they're so close apart in terms of their ages as well.
But also, I mean, during the pandemic,
Yeah.
all of you would have been under one roof,
Yeah.
right? You would have been running this business from home with the 4 children schooling from home.
Yeah, I think it was quite chaotic at the onset. Towards the middle, I actually go to the office.
Okay, yeah.
Because even though the entire so-called country has closed down, I think government still allows
Allowed you,
business
yeah.
owner
Yeah.
to go back on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So the 4 kids at home, they are blessings to me, but at the same time, they are really distraction when it comes to doing business.
Of course, yeah.
So like you said, right? You know, they were so young. I think now that when I look back, it was amazing. It was like 4 kids in 5 years. I think
Yeah.
I was really at a prime, you
Yeah.
know, my size, at a certain age. Yeah.
Oh, well
I was
done.
really 75 kg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but I'm so
But
glad
it's
all
worth it,
over.
and it's
all
worth it.
over.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about the landscape of women entrepreneurs in Singapore? Do you think they're enough? Do you think enough help is being given to them?
Well, generally, I think Singapore right now is still quite an open society, especially with platforms like this Women Entrepreneur Award. I think they have given us a heads up and a good platform. In fact, over these years, as I mentioned when I got this award way back in 2017, I think the network has built from there. In fact, most of the network that I've got and the referrals I've got comes from this platform itself.
Oh, nice.
I
The
think-
community.
Yeah, the community.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I think this helps the entrepreneurs out there to expand their business network to a certain level. So that was one way that we can actually empower the women to have more authority and wider business network to expand the business horizon. Yeah.
Okay.
FD is an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah,
It's just
for
that it's
sure.
not a woman.
Yeah.
So for him, it was easier.
Well, it's true. It's,
No, it is.
It
It
is
is
true.
easier for a man. I mean, you look at as Angel said, and as has been discussed, women wear so many hats.
Yeah.
Men don't.
And women are expected to
Yeah.
do so much
yeah,
more.
you know, it's. I mean, as a man,
Yeah.
I'll say it. It's horribly unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
because the
horribly
expectations
unfair.
are always
Very different.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a lady, right?
Yeah.
Lady has to
It's-
probably work twice as hard.
Oh, I would say
I would
more,
say
way more, way more.
than
Way
twice
more.
as
Yeah.
hard.
It's because of the expectations. They don't have to,
Yeah.
but they're expected to keep house, keep the children in
Yeah.
check, make
Yeah.
sure they do their homework, make sure they wash, they eat, they're clean, you
Yeah.
know.
And the responsibility is like, you know, you need to switch from one mood to the other
Very
one mood
quickly.
Very quickly. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just an illustration. In the middle of a meeting, I was having a discussion, and then my girl was just calling me non-stop.
And you have to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought something urgent, you know, something urgent crop up. So I excused myself.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Sorry,
then-
Elsie, hang
Yeah,
on.
sorry.
We'll go
no,
on
it's
air.
okay.
Just now we were talking on Facebook, so people are watching us and all that. Now we're going to go on
On
air.
radio.
On radio for everyone who's listening in, and they'll be watching us as well.
So
okay?
we'll talk a little bit about what we said earlier,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
2 traffic.
Alrighty, what's happening on the roads? SLE towards the BKE. A vehicle broken down after the TPE entrance. Bukit Timah Road towards Woodlands. An obstacle on the road after Kavanagh Road. Look out for that. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our second guest for this morning is the MD of Adepture Consulting, Elsie Liow, who is also the winner of the Phoenix Award at the Women Entrepreneur Awards. Good morning, Elsie.
Morning, Glenn. Morning, everyone. And morning, Blind Dutchman and Angel.
Good
Hello.
morning, Elsie. It's such a pleasure to have you in the studio today. You're here because, I mean, as what Glenn just said, you're a part of the Women Entrepreneur Awards and you're an entrepreneur.
Yep.
You ran a company mid-pandemic which required moving people from country to country. So basically, you run an immigration and relocation consultancy. How difficult was it when the borders shut? Because you're in the business of physically moving people across borders. When the borders shut, how hard was it and what did you do?
Right, Angel, as you mentioned, right, I think this pandemic really strike hard on us to a certain level because the borders closed. So all along, before pandemic strike, we thought this business is a very resilient business. It's a moving people business. In good times, people move.
Yeah.
In bad times, people still moved. So we were never hit by any crisis, not even back in 2008 when the financial crisis struck, when Lehman Brothers collapsed. Our business are still soaring to that certain extent because people still move.
Still
around.
have to move, yeah.
So when this pandemic struck, borders closed down, the country closed down, nobody moved.
Yeah.
That really hits us quite badly.
Yeah.
So I think business just declined. So during that period of time, we were just trying to restructure the whole organization, the whole company, and try to look at the system and build up a system, use technology.
Okay.
To bring whatever we have to try to bring online so that, people can actually look at the information and fill up that information in a more convenient manner where everything, we are trying to make sure is automated to a certain level. Not like in the past, it's everything phone call, everything so manual. So that's where we restructure the whole operations in terms of the standard operating procedures, SOP.
Right.
Okay, got
Your
it.
theme song should be Destiny's Child's Survivor.
Survivor,
That's
yeah, absolutely. Because you did come through the pandemic and
Absolutely.
survive. How difficult is it in Singapore today for a woman to be an entrepreneur?
Difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's a big word. But I think, generally speaking, even though we have to play multiple roles back home and in the office playground, I think Singapore generally has a very friendly environment and a lot of platforms for us to go up to actually run our business to a certain level. For instance, this WEA itself is a platform. It's a very good platform for us to actually widen our business network. In fact, through this WEA award, I've actually got a lot of my business contact from there. The referrals are from there as well. It built up a lot of my business clientels and associates to a certain level.
So it's been a good community for you.
Yeah, it's a very good community.
Okay, before we let you go, what advice would you like to give to other women entrepreneurs when it comes to dealing with challenges? Some women are already out there; they're about to give up, but it's a passion of theirs. What do you have to say to them?
I think generally state of mind, state of health. I think these two things are really important. It's not really just to women entrepreneur, to anybody who wants to do things and make sure they can make it in life. I think your state of mind is really important. You have to persevere, focus, and actually never give up. I think that's the important mindset of any women entrepreneur who wants to do their business in the horizon. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Fantastic.
Actually, I wanted to ask this other question.
Yeah.
I think there's time for just one
Okay.
last
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Hi,
I mean,
Glenn.
in the environment that you're in, I mean, amongst other women entrepreneurs, obviously there are men as well.
Yeah.
Do some of these men give you guys a hard time?
I think generally Singapore men's are okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they are generally
Good
quite
to know.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah, they are quite nice and they
Helpful?
I think helpful. I think the culture is such that in this entire country itself, Singapore men and Singapore women they understand that at the end of the day, it's not about inferiority in terms of the gender, but they look at the capability.
Okay.
But when it comes to cross-border, another country, then it is otherwise.
It's a different story, right? Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right. Okay.
Nice.
Well, congratulations, Elsie, once again, and thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us.
It's my
so early in the
pleasure.
morning.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, and it's wonderful
I
meeing
feel
you.
honored.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you
the
for
best to
listening.
you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to play Destiny's Child's Survive. No, Charlie says no. We
She
don't have
panicked
that
for
song.
a
But
moment.
remember, okay, if anyone asks what your theme song is, it's that song, Survivor by Destiny's Child. All right, coming up, headline news and sports. Keep it right here on Kiss 92.
Wake up.
Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman.
Wake up.
The Big Show on Kiss 92.